What up, what up, what up? Out here walking, trying to, the clouds, I'm not give up the rain, but it's been a nasty day. I'm trying to start a habit of sweating when I wake up. I remember when I was in like my bag, when I had I was in the best fitness, health, or however you correctly say that. I was in the best of me in that space. I got down to I want to say I was touching I was right above 170. So I was in between I never saw myself get to 170 or 171, which I'm not doubting that I did, but I never actually clocked it with weight. So I want to say sometimes I got down was 174, 176, something like that. I remember I felt good. I felt real good. Clothes was fitting good. I damn near was on my way. Fuck, that's crazy. Damn, thinking of hindsight, thinking about that, I'm like, fuck. Damn, I just remember I didn't stretch, but I also said I was gonna stretch. On my first 3/4 of a mile, because they have a little station up here, a plyo or calisthenics section, pull-ups, sit-ups, and stuff like that. Y'all see it up here when we get up there. But yeah, I just remember how it felt. I'm trying to get that habit back. Literally, at some point, I'm not gonna consider this a part of the workout. I'm gonna get back to how I was when I was in high school. We had to run 2 miles every day, and that wasn't even a part of the workout. So, just kind of get back to that mentality. Hey, Jamie, how y'all doing? But yeah, I'm definitely heavy. You can see that shit. Fucking big ass chest. Ooh. I want to see the scene of where I'm walking. Walking a bayou. That's what I was just spoken to. It's a bayou. There's some people up here actually doing some shit. But in the midst of walking, I said I'm not gonna stop and do no shit. I'm kind of on a time crunch, but and even that literally extra 15 minutes will fuck my shit up. And if you know Zay is not the best with time management. There's a word for that. That's what I'm thinking about. If you know the word, put it in the chat. I know it, I just can't think of it right now. Punctuality. That's what it is. That's why I got quiet. You gotta get quiet when you want to fucking tap into some shit. But yeah, man. Pine tree, I love pine trees. Actually, walking this trail, I realized there's 2 different type of trees I love, and there's a certain type of magnolia. There's magnolia trees on this trail. I found out I really like them. So pine trees, pecan trees, and magnolia trees. Those, I've identified those as my favorite trees. And there's this one flower that I really like. It goes back to when I used to visit my uncle in Raleigh, RP Uncle Didi, my guy. It's a elephant something They look like elephant ears. They're really big. Of course, they're green, but like on the leaf, there's a purple, like it's like purple in the middle of the leaf. But I can't remember the exact name of it. I just gotta Google it. But elephants for sure in the name. For sure. Oh, shout out to Cash Cobain. But yeah. What I got on my mind today? What we got today? Today is Friday. It doesn't feel like a Friday. It hasn't felt like a Friday since my mom had a heart attack. And maybe because I don't like my average day, my average routine isn't what it would be. Like typically any day would be I'll wake up, go to work, do whatever I want to do after I get off of work. Then I have like little things in between, like I make music, so studio. I remember 1 week we were shooting a film, so 3 days of it was us doing 3 days of my week. I would go to work, do a film. Actually, I didn't even work at this time because I wasn't working because my mom had the heart attack. So literally, I'll be at the hospital. I'll go to work. We were shooting the film because I took off of work, and I would go right back to the hospital. One thing about hospitals, and this is the thing, it's not even a hospital. It's systems. When people in situations where, like, for example, the hospital, it's humanity to want to like see and be with your family when the times are rough. That's humanity. Like, so it's just so funny, like, that I can only speak for America, but I'm just gonna say just in general that people have to pay and people have to be able to afford to be with their family when they die. Like, when they're sick, it's crazy. Like, I'm blessed. I've always been blessed. There was a point in my life where I realized that I was blessed not because of me. I was blessed because of literally where I come from, who I am. Of course, like, we're all children under God. Like, we all have God in us. But I didn't pray my whole life. There was a point in my life where I didn't pray at all. But at the point where I started my own spiritual walk, and I thank my grandma, and I thank my grandmas, I thank my family. I'm just thankful for certain things never to be forced on me, because when I came back to it on my own accord. And it's not like I ever left, but life happened, like the world. Like, you get into the world, you start doing what you want to do, you start going to the movies, turn 16, start going to the movies, start going to team parties, and you don't want to wake up for church on Sundays no more, so you just stop going at some point. And I remember when, and I'm saying all this because there's a point I realized that I was blessed because other people prayed for me. And a lot of, my bad, I got quiet because the Nike app was talking to me. It was telling me like my pace and stuff. It's funny, like I know my walking pace is slower than the average speed walk, which I don't know how to like increase it outside of running. And I was telling somebody that I walk with sometimes, because they have a fast walk pace. And I was like, I like walking with you because it makes me walk faster. And I just noticed when they were telling me my pace is a minute slower than the pace that we be on when we walk together. But yeah, no, going back to the story. So I realized that I was blessed because, not because of myself, like, of course because of myself, but I had other people praying for me. And I'm not saying it's because somebody else was praying for me that I'm blessed and I was never got into any crazy things. But yeah, like truly, I mean, at my core, I've always believed, but I was not always present. So that's just my thought. That's just my thoughts about my experiences and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm not saying that these things are true, and I think that's what people misconstrued about when people talk. Some people speak in definites and what they say is right, and you can't have an opinion. That's some people, but most people don't. I don't think most people speak that way. I think most people speak based on their experience. That's where the whole projection term comes from, which I don't. That's a whole nother conversation. And maybe let me know if y'all want to have that talk. We can talk about projection. But yeah, when I got to college, it's so funny because when I was in college and I was away from home, that's when everything started coming back from home. So freshman year, I mean, me and my intimate group of friends, it was three of us. It's three of us and then a plus one, because one of my friends has a twin sister, and we was never leaving her out of the shenanigans. But we was all boys, so of course she's not doing majority of the stuff with us. But when we do family type PG, you know what I'm saying? She's definitely there. Cause we, like I said, I don't know. That's one thing me and my boy always got we got along on a lot of things. Never really got into it. I can't even remember us getting into it. But when it came to our sisters, we don't want to do no fucking PG-13 rated R shit with our sisters. You go do that shit somewhere else if you want to act like that. But no, daddy didn't teach you that shit. You wouldn't do that shit with daddy around. But nah, that's funny. But no, I was gonna say, but yeah, being in college, you kind of like got back to my roots. So I just remember we used to go to church on Sundays. That evolved to when we got our first apartments, our sophomore year, us eating Sunday dinner together. Like, it was just so many things that we did to remind us of home. And that also taught us that we were more similar than we thought. Like, all of us had similar experiences, and that's how we were able to kind of bring them together, and it wasn't weird. Of course, somebody probably didn't experience these things, but majority of us did, so that's why it was so smooth. But yeah, so if you didn't know, if nobody told you, you were blessed. Like 2 Chainz said, if you woke up today, you blessed. If you can walk today, you blessed. That's why I'm out here. Like every day I'm more appreciative, and it might not even be every day. It's whenever I think about it. I'm trying to be more intentional about everything. I've never lacked intent, but trying to grow up, man. So and that's just the honest truth. So just being more intentional about everything. I definitely jump. I was like, what the fuck is that? But like just being more intentional about everything. Like I said, I've never lacked intention, but intent could definitely be in places that are more progressive and from a maturity standpoint. So yeah. We out here. I like this. I mean, this actually makes the walk. I like this for the walk. And we might do this at the beginning. The days that I don't run, for sure, because I'm not doing this shit for running. But yeah. And remember, and I'm gonna try to remember. Rule number 2. What was rule number 1? Rule number 1 was know your role. That was in the first video. Rule number 2. If you woke up today, you blessed. Let's go. Well, that goes back to that, yeah. So just imagine not being able to walk today and you planned on running tomorrow. Like, that's a crazy thought. I don't even know if that even makes sense on what I just said. I understand what I just said. But yeah, maybe me spending a week in the hospital with my mom made me just think, like, yeah, it's so many people. I feel like everything that our parents and grandparents experience later in life, we're experiencing earlier. Like, of course, high blood pressure runs in your family. But the lifestyle that we live today doesn't prolong that. It actually speeds it up. And as much as I'm talking about this like I understand it, I don't. I'm just talking based on what I think and what sounds logical to me. But I'm also talking to myself, and that's the real part. Like, it is what it is. Like, people think they're all no people no yeah. I don't like. I've started learning to. So first of all, I've never argued with certain people my whole life. Certain people I've never argued with, and that's because we have nothing to argue about. Like, an argument is necessarily two people trying to get their point across. Like, I don't like to argue because both of us have our opinion. Now, if we can understand each other's opinions, we can understand how to exist together. But if there's no world we can understand each other's opinions, then good luck with us existing together. I'm about humanity over all that other shit. So let's figure it out. Like, we're all human. And that's why I need to get back in the Bible. Because one thing about the Bible is literally, I look at the Bible as just a big love story. It's a big story. It's not like how big it is and the little words and the funny words. It's so intimidating, but it's like, once you actually read it, you realize, oh, this is a story. This is actually like the best book ever written, because there's so many ups, downs, oohs, ahs. Like, it's actually crazy. But the thing about spirituality, if you're not ready for it, and you see it, it's, yeah. I know there's been certain things that I've seen, it's like, oh, I was not ready to see that. I was not ready to know that. Because I'm just the type of person, once I know something, it's hard for me to be ignorant to it. So, but yeah, that was our morning walk. Like I said, I'm gonna try to, every time I think about something, I'm gonna talk to y'all, but peace out.